Welcome back to episode 5. I feel like I might have skipped a week. I don't know. I am completely off. I'm not going based off of filming it one day. I really wanted to be that structured. I intended to put something out every Sunday because Sunday was the first day that I put something out. That I put the episode 1. It was on a Sunday, so I really wanted to continue on that, but it's just not happening. Life kind of is just doing its thing, and it's not allowed me to. But I am definitely making it. I'm making it. I am making it very important to sit down and film these little rants. I hope you guys enjoyed last week's rant. I had Jaime as my first guest, and I got a lot of good feedback. I'm glad you guys enjoyed listening to some real stuff, real people talking about real shit that a lot of people probably are experiencing as well. And today, I think I'm just going to really rant. I can never catch a fucking break, man. I really can't. I have had a very interesting fucking week. Today is actually today is the 7th of September, which is apparently a full moon and an eclipse, I think. If I am correct, I'm not too 100% sure, but I was very curious to see how this full moon is going to affect me personally. And I I use chat GPT to ask how this new moon is going to affect me. Very interesting, very on point. I basically was told it was so spot on. It's kind of crazy because I'm like, either this phone is listening to me and just telling me what I want to hear, or it's pretty spot on. Um, if you've never had a birth chart reading, basically you need to provide where you were born and the time that you were born so that you can get an exact reading based off of where the stars were aligned at the time that you were born. And it kind of just tells you a little bit about yourself, things that you probably already know, but sometimes it gives you a little bit more of like like an answer, I guess, or clarity. To it depends on why people go and get these readings, anyways. But I've had one done before, and it was pretty spot on. Um, where I was at that place in my life in that moment, it was pretty spot on. And it just kind of, in a sense, gives you a look into very brief. It's not like predicting the future or anything. It just kind of gives you a little glimpse into the path that you're taking, and then you get to decide if you want to continue on to that path or not. Basically, is how I perceived it. And so chat gpt essentially asked me if I wanted to basically do one of those to see how this full moon is going to affect me personally. And it was so crazy. It's so crazy because I feel like it's not just this full moon. It's like this entire season it's been doing its thing, but to actually read it, it's like solidifies that this is intentional, and this is this is the way that it's supposed to happen, and this is what is supposed to happen, you know? So basically, flat out, it said there's a group of people that you are going to remove far, far away from you because they no longer serve you purpose, and get to they don't deserve to basically follow you along into this next chapter of your life. Um, and honestly, that's exactly what's been happening. It's been happening. I sometimes I think about it, and it feels like it's been such a long time since these like little friendship fallouts, but it's barely been like maybe 2 3 months maybe at most, and I'm just like, damn, like. But yeah, it literally said that word for word. So it just kind of solidified that yes, the things are happening for a reason and they were meant to happen. And it's okay, and just let shit happen. with with that being said, my week has been very, very, very eventful. I actually, the same day that I filmed the last episode with my friend Jaime, we went out to go have pizza and beer. Went out to this place somewhere in Chinatown. And after Chinatown, he introduced me to this new bar. I forgot what it's called. It's like super cool bar. I never knew it was there. Very um, different. Just kind of makes you feel like you're not in LA. Um, so we went there. Ended our night at like 11. It was probably like 10:50 or something, and we were like, let's just call it. It's fine, you know. Uh, we ended our night at 11, and I got picked up. I ordered an Uber. I I don't remember ever getting a shared ride, but like that one's the one that usually will pop up first, and it's like the cheaper one by like 2 cents or something. Like it just doesn't even make a fucking difference anymore. Uber. And so I get picked up, and my way home, then the driver gets alerted that someone else has been added to the ride. And so we get off on the freeway and go and pick up this co-rider. So we pull up to the pickup location, and I see two men. I see two men, maybe like a 40-year-old and like a 20-year-old. They're both wearing Dodger jerseys. And I'm like, oh, great. Uh, I really don't want to be in this car with three men. So, anyways, the guy, the 20-year-old, proceeds to walk up to the car. He's saying bye to the person that he was standing with. He opens the back door to where I was sitting. Doesn't even bother to look to see if there's anyone in there. Tries to get in. He sticks his foot inside the car first, kicks my ankle like pretty hard, and then proceeds to try to sit on top of me. And I literally had to pull out both of my hands and just shoved him back out because what the fuck, you know? And as soon as that happens, he's just like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And he's like, uncle, what the fuck? And he's like, what the fuck? ¿Qué es esto? ¿Qué está pasando? Like, what's happening? He's speaking in Spanish. And the driver's like, hey, it's okay, it's okay. The driver seems like he doesn't speak much English. He's like, hey, do you speak Spanish? I speak Spanish too. Like, it's okay. It's okay. This is a shared ride. And then he's like, Uncle, what the fuck? Why'd you give me a fucking shared ride? Blah, blah. Like, he's just going off on his uncle because his uncle got him a shared ride. And his uncle's just standing there looking like he don't know where the fuck he's at because obviously they were drunk. And then the driver just kind of reassures him like, hey, it's fine, just get in the passenger side. So the kid gets into the passenger side, and he's just like, what the fuck, my fucking uncle, I can't believe he got me a fucking shared ride. Like, he's just so upset. And I'm just sitting in the back, quiet. I'm about to be dropped off next, and I'm just ready to go and be out of this fucking car. So the driver gets on the freeway again, and I guess the app alerted the co-rider that I was gonna get dropped off first. So I guess he didn't like that, and he was just like, "Fuck, we're gonna drop off this bitch first." uh, Honestly, I was like, "Just stay silent, Marie. Just stay quiet." But then I was like, "No." I'm like, you don't know this person. Obviously, the fact that he called me a bitch, it didn't bother me, but it bothered me the fact that people don't know how to fucking act in public. And I was like, you know what? Excuse you? You're a fucking bitch. And he's just like, what? And just kind of stays quiet for a couple of seconds. And then he starts going off, talking about, yeah, you're a fucking bitch. You're a fucking bitch. You fucking broke bitch. You're a hoe. And I don't know what the fuck. And I'm just like, you don't even know me, but okay, kid. Like, legitimately, the things that he was saying, they weren't affecting me because I like, I've done the work. If I don't know you and you say something like that about me, it does not hurt me because that shit does not hurt. You know, I just didn't like the fact that this stranger felt comfortable enough to just attack me for no reason. I just didn't like that. I'm like, this kid is obviously doesn't know how to treat women, or he's just a fucking piece of shit little boy, you know? Like, I'm like, fuck that. Like, you're a little kid, sit the fuck down, you know? And he's just like arguing with me, going back and forth, and I'm like, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up. I'm like, I have nothing else to say to this little boy, like, literally have nothing else to say. So I'm just like, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up, you little bitch, shut the fuck up. I'm just like yelling so he shuts up, and he's just going off still. And I tell the driver in Spanish, I'm like, hey, can you please pull over and drop this kid off? He's being very problematic. He's been problematic since he got in. And the driver's like, no, sorry, I can't do that. And I'm like, what do you mean you can't do that? He's causing up an issue during this ride. I'm like, I'm a female. I don't feel safe with this person in the car with us. I'm like, can you just drop him off? And again, he's just like, no, just quiet. Both of you guys, just quiet. And I'm just like, what the fuck, dude? Like, no, this is not okay. And then this guy keeps like calling me bitch, and then he starts telling the guy and the driver in Spanish. He's like saying that I'm ICE, that I called ICE on him because he doesn't have papers, and that I'm a fucking this and I'm that. And like, he's talking in Spanish, but his Spanish is so fucking terrible. He's just like, yo soy, ella es ella es ICE, me quiere deportar. Like, I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, motherfucker, you don't even know how to speak Spanish. Shut the fuck up. Like, what are you even saying? You're wearing a Dodgers jersey and you're saying that. Shut the fuck up. You know, like, you want to call people ICE, but then you want to fucking wear a Dodgers jersey? Little boy, shut the fuck up. Like, people are so out of touch with reality, honestly. And I'm just like, you're a fucking moron. I'm like, I was just like, you're fucking dumb. And I told the driver, if you're not gonna drop him off, then you need to drop me off because I don't feel safe. And the driver's like, fine, fine, okay, I'll drop you off. And I'm like, damn, like this motherfucker would rather drop me off than to drop off this fucking stupid, fucking problematic person, you know? And so he gets off the freeway and he's like, where do you want me to drop him? Like, anywhere on Broadway, just drop me off. And he drops me off by Macy's in downtown. And it's like 11:40 at this point, or 11:30 at this point, or 11. It was like 11:15. I wasn't even in the ride for like longer than 11, 12 minutes from start to the end. My ride home would have been like 15 minutes, and this Uber was fucking charging me $26. And fine, whatever. Uber and all these stupid ass shared rides and shit are so like overpriced and ridiculous. But Uber is trying to pull like the full funds out of my bank. The full funds that I didn't receive service for. I didn't even get dropped off at home, which was my destination, and they are still trying to charge me the full balance. So I instantly reported it with Uber, and they called me on my way home. They called me from Uber support so that they can take down my story. And the guy on Uber support, you get taught to be very, what is it? What's the word? Pretend like you fucking care for the other person's well-being, so and so, whatever. That guy, the guy, the Uber support was being very caring. And he asks me, so did you call 911 at any point of this ride? And I'm like, no. It's like, okay, that's good. I'm glad that you didn't call 911 because these situations don't deserve to be like, passed on to 911, blah blah. And I'm just like, okay, what the fuck was that about? But like, give me my fucking money back, like, cause I legitimately all I cared about was just getting like not getting paid, not getting charged for that fucking ride, cause I shouldn't have dealt with that shit. And so they basically were like, okay, we're going to um put a hold on this person's account, blah blah blah. I'm like, it's not even his account, it's his uncle's. Like, he was not even in the ride. And you're just like, about the refund, we'll see. We just have to investigate and blah blah blah. And I'm so sorry this happened to you. And I'm just like, yeah, okay, whatever. They get down my story, and then Uber, I still see the fucking, like, I'm not getting any like refund messages back because usually Uber will send you like a text message saying that you've been refunded, and but that's exactly what I was waiting for, because I'm like, this is bullshit. Like, hurry up and work faster. Like, I know they can do that. And they kept saying like, oh no, sorry, these situations, and these situations, we have to protect our drivers too, and it wasn't our drivers, um whatever, and I'm just like, your driver decided to drop me off instead of the problem. So fuck your driver, first of all, and give me my fucking money back. And they credited me $7 to Uber credits. $7. What the fuck am I gonna do with $7? Yeah, I can fucking go get a ride in New Orleans for $7 in the French Quarter, but the fuck am I gonna do with $7 here in LA? Like, okay, $7, fucking morons. I This happened on a Friday, so I know how the bank works. The charge was still pending on my credit card. Luckily, I put my rides on my credit cards. So I waited until Monday, and on Monday it cleared. So they did pull the fucking money out of my bank, and I took it upon with my bank to basically dispute the charge, and they refunded me my charge, but with those types of disputes, they contact if Uber contacts them and tells them X, Y, and Z, then there's a possibility that they can pull the funds right back out of my card. So I am just annoyed, I'm upset, and like, what the fuck, dude? Like, really? Why the fuck did that happen to me? I don't know. And I went on and I posted it on like TikTok and stuff because I was trying to figure out ways. I was on Google just like researching what are other ways that I can potentially reach Uber, because Uber support is not doing like really much about it. And fucking Google was like, "Oh, post about it on Twitter X," and I'm like, "Wow, really? That's what it fucking takes?" And I'm like, you know what? Whatever. I fucking made an X account, and that was my first tweet or whatever the fuck you even call it. And it's ridiculous, but I don't know how Twitter works. I don't know how X works. I don't know. But Uber support got back to me like that. And they basically told me to email them with this story, and they'll make it right and blah blah blah. But it's like, I already reached out to Uber support and nothing was done. All I got was $7 fucking of a credit. I don't even give a fuck about a credit. So I'm like, well, okay, you guys kind of read that. Now I'm gonna take it to TikTok, and I made a TikTok, and it looks like it's getting some traffic, and which I am thankful for. And I just want to put out awareness, and Uber needs to make shit right, make shit better, and teach their drivers how to properly assess a situation when it comes to drunk riders and females. There's got to be some sort of classes or some sort of assessments that have to be taken Uber before you allow these people to fucking drive for you, because half the time you don't even know who these fucking people are. I think it's just disgusting that this man chose to protect this stupid drunk guy over a perfectly fine female when she was asking him for help, basically. That was really shitty. But yeah, that fucking happened. And then so I'm just like, going back to my normal day to day life, go to work, do the things, make the tattoos. And then this other drama arises. Can I catch a fucking break, man? Like, truly. I'm so like fucking tired. I am so tired. I have been trying to, specifically for this reason, just stay away from people, but that should just like will fucking find you somehow. Like, it fucking never fails to find me. I am not gonna talk too much about what happened because it involves people that are still in my life, and I'd rather not talk about that. But what I took from it is that I think the universe is really doing its thing with this whole new full moon thing that's happening, because there's like another cut that happened. Basically, I was able to see a side of someone that I obviously didn't really know, someone that I consider an acquaintance. I don't consider them a friend. It's just an acquaintance, a friend of a friend. Um, but that person hangs out a lot with my old group of friends that I am no longer friends with. And that situation always made me feel a little uneasy and just unsure. Um, so I definitely choose to just walk around it and just kind of stand back and try and stay away, specifically to not create more problems or drama or whatever. And sometimes you think you're doing something good for someone, but that shit turns into something else, and that shit will fucking blow up in your face. So basically, just fucking stay the fuck away. Is what I fucking picked up from it. Just basically just stay the fuck away, all the fuck away. Because people just fucking, I don't fucking even know, man. I'm still confused. I I mean, I'm fucking I I don't know, I'm just really confused. I don't know. I'm just really confused, but essentially you don't really know people, but and you can't control people, and but you can only control the way that you react to them. And one thing that I caught myself doing was acknowledging their their traumas on both ends, acknowledging how open they have been about certain things in their life. And I can tell why they chose to react or choose to behave a certain way, because psychologically, when something troubling happens to you for such a long time, you forget that not every situation deserves that type of response. And you immediately become triggered, or you immediately want to just push back. And I just understood that, and I decided to just leave it at that. I I I don't know. I really think that people are all experiencing different things in their life, and you don't ever truly know what someone is going through, especially if you don't really know who they are. Sometimes if sometimes we just need to learn how to communicate with people, even in times of anger or frustration. Not every situation deserves your reaction to something traumatic that has happened to you in your past. Not everyone deserves to be talked down to the way that you talk down to someone that has made you feel like that's the vocabulary that you need to use. Every situation does not deserve a reaction. But those are things that we learn to maneuver around once we get help and we go to therapy and we learn about our triggers and our traumas and how to maneuver around them. And so people are just not ready to do that. Some people are just not ready, not in the right space, or sometimes you just think that you're fine and you can carry on with your life. But it's, I think everyone can use a little bit of therapy, especially if you have experienced something very traumatic, either in your childhood or in your young adulthood, that has made you this nasty, angry person. But yeah, we just never know what the other person is experiencing in their life or how they're going to react to your poor choice of words and your anger. Hence why we should do the work and heal ourselves before we just fucking explode on everybody. I am rambling now because I am thinking thoughts in my head. But yeah, man, this, I feel like this week specifically has put me in situations with strangers essentially, that fucking idiot on the Uber, right? And apparently, this person that I have hung out with a handful of times that obviously I didn't really know, but you don't think about that stuff because you don't ever think you're going to be put in a situation like that where you're not going to like the way that they have reacted to someone else that you also know that is going through a very tough time. Um, and I can touch on that because I have been there also. I've it's it, and it's a this is the reason actually I I keep thinking of when I'm going to make the video. Should I do it this? Should it be episode 5? Should I wait? Should I, ease up to it? How am I gonna introduce it? How am I going to talk about it? What am I gonna say? What really am I going to speak on? And for the longest time, but this is actually a perfect time to just put it out there. And I won't get into it this episode, but I maybe the next one. Um, the reason why I thought about making this podcast was because I feel like I have experienced something very traumatic that has changed me a lot. About 5 years ago, I was in a very, very toxic relationship, and I have never experienced anything like that before. I have never met anyone that made me feel that way before, and I, to this day, still struggle with the trauma that this person has put into my life. And I am working through these traumas still to this day. And in the beginning of my new relationship, I think was some of the hardest times of my relationship now, because I still reacted the way that I would in my old relationship, either verbally, physically, emotionally. I was already programmed to react certain ways to certain things that didn't deserve that, because this is a complete different person. To they don't deserve to have reactions that I used to naturally have in my toxic relationship, if that makes any sense. I'm trying to find the perfect words, but yeah, I can totally relate to some of these stories that these acquaintances have shared with me, and I put myself in their shoes. That's something that I have learned to do as of recent, within all this healing and basically getting to know myself and my triggers and my traumas, and how to work through them in a positive outcome, I guess, if you will, for myself. So I'm at a point where I put myself in people's shoes, and I try to understand them, because they're not doing the healing, they're not processing their trauma, they're continuing to live with it. And as I said, not every situation deserves a reaction. But yeah, this got really personal really fast. I I'm going to that end with that, because I have a fucking headache and I need to go eat, and I have this new episode of Baddies that I need to fucking watch, because I like lately I've been watching I've been on a Baddies binge, so I wait every week for the new episode. Now I'm caught up, and that shit just releases like all of my fucking like, because at heart I'm a fucking fighter. Like I fucking want to fight, like naturally, like I fucking want to put up a fucking bun and just, but I'm an adult and I cannot do that. And I would rather just sit and watch Baddies and just, picture myself doing that. Probably get my ass beat in Baddies, but, you know, fucking that if like I need to watch, man. I just need to watch for my little release. But yeah, I'm gonna go fucking do that right now, because I can do a lot of releasing right now. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And I will be back maybe next week with episode 6. And if you guys have stayed till the end, thank you. And don't forget that not every situation deserves a reaction. Sometimes people are easily killed with kindness or silence. Just don't even fucking say anything, man. Some people don't even know how to fucking react to that. Well, I hope you guys have a good rest of your week, your day at work, morning. Yeah. Thank you for watching, guys.